Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Halas Hall Hangover. This is 4-Star Chicago Sports, and we are back off the bye. The Bears are preparing to head to the nation's capital, and of course, we brought you a special guest to bring back the season. Nate Pearson, he should be here in about 20, 25 minutes. He's going to break down before and after, and we're going to go around the NFL. We're going to start with that right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. The Bears are back. And you know what happens when the Bears are back? We're going to be back at River Street Tavern, which I can't wait to go to. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. And we got Bizzo Joe in the house. We got Breaking News Bruce. We got Relentless Mikey. Let's fill up this room, make Zach feel really welcome. How you doing today, Brandon?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm ready for some football. It was an interesting weekend of football.
It was a tremendously interesting weekend of football. We went in with last Monday. We were talking about the undefeateds, and now there's none.
Well, yeah, and then some of the entirely defeateds won some games I thought they had no business playing, and so
yeah, you know what? I could start.
The Saints and the Titans won games they absolutely should not have.
Yeah, and I'll start off and say, wow, man, I thought that Gannon had the Cardinals going to be in such a different place. What a clown show. I took a stab on them in our preseason show as a dark horse, and my God, shoot me now because that horse is dead. That team might be dead.
I don't know, though, Sean, that I wouldn't give Gannon a shot at another quarterback.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, it's not even the way they scheme anything, man. Kyler Murray, you watch him, at least this year especially, and he's just not that guy, dude.
Yeah.
He's just not that guy. And then you see, I showed you guys, I was watching that game they had with Seattle on Thursday night a couple weeks ago, and at halftime, ESPN shows you yards of separation per player. Marvin Harrison Jr. led the Cardinals and the receivers on the Seahawks. He had 5 yards per carry of separation, and he had 1 catch.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, so the numbers show that the guy is open.
Yeah.
There's just something about Murray that you can just tell, man. He's not.
You know what? When you watch him, you see him when and Kyle's pointed this out so many times. But when you watch him, and I've noticed it the last couple of weeks more so often than not, of him just trying to see over the line.
Getting out of the pocket to throw the ball.
It's just like, my God, dude, what is happening?
And what sucks about that too, man, is not only does the guy have to get out of the pocket in order to see his receivers, you can't move the pocket because most of those guys that can get out of there with their legs, you know, you can run a moving pocket to help those guys out. But Murray, it's like, if the linemen move with him, he's got the same problem regardless. So I don't know. I thought he was I thought he was an explosive player early in his career, Sean, but it's been over. That injury kind of took something out of him, and then it's time for them to move on. Maybe not from Gannon, but from him for sure.
I want to ask the chat, because Brandon and I are going to be on opposite sides of the coin on this one. Two plays in the Philly-Denver game. One was the non-fumble by Bo Nix. I think it was a non-fumble, but some people think it was a fumble. And did A.J. Brown give up on that route? Was that a good – I say it was a good ball by Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown quit on that route. What do you think? What does the chat think, you guys, if you guys saw that today?
I didn't see that game, and I know that he pulled Devontae Smith down during the Hail Mary.
The Hail Mary, yeah.
I didn't see the route that you were talking about. I mean, I'll take your word for it, dude. You know if a guy quit on a route, but
it looked like he did, man. It really did. And AJ Brown, man, he's such a good player, but he seems like, I don't know, he just seems too much me and not enough team. I don't
Well,
know, man.
but and I mean AJ Brown's. I don't necessarily love AJ Brown, Sean. He's on my fantasy team, so I'm hoping for the best result for
Yeah.
that. But you don't always got to look at the player. Sometimes it's more important to look at the situation. What are the Eagles losing if they trade AJ Brown? Everybody thinks about AJ Brown when he starts talking about trades and this and that, and people are like, "Oh, this guy's a diva," and like, but like, maybe it benefits the Eagles.
It
He's not
could.
really he's not really that involved in their winning football games, anyways. You could make a
Yeah,
case.
he's
You could
not.
make it. You could make a case that he was part of the reason they lost the only game they did because he prevented Devontae, which he did. I saw that play in real time. He prevented Devontae Smith from catching that football. There's no doubt about it. So, do they just get a couple of good draft picks and continue to win football games anyways? I
Yeah,
don't know.
something a little bit later. I mean, that's quite possible. I mean, I don't know. I guess if he keeps bringing this team down, like I was kind
Or if he's just not involved, man, regardless of what he's doing off the field or with his attitude and his comments and his tweets, the guy's just if he continues to get one catch for 7 yards and they're winning football games,
like,
I don't see what it
why get rid of
hurts.
him, right?
Yeah. I don't
You
see
know,
what it hurts to see what other teams might offer you, man. What if
too
another
much
team offers you a receiver and a pick? A guy that's not AJ Brown, but that can still do a job, you know what I mean? Like I don't
on top of that, in that game, rushing Barkley 6 times when he was getting 5 yards a clip just didn't seem right. Like I don't want to put it all on AJ Brown, but the Eagles just seemed off against Denver. I mean, how do you rush Saquon 6 times, dude? In a tight ball game. Like it wasn't like it was lopsided.
Well,
Eh,
it's strange when it comes to that team, Sean, with Sirianni. Like he's a good coach, but he's not. Hertz is a good quarterback, but he's not. The run game's efficient, but it's nothing in that. They always win in a different way than the week they did before, and it never looks all that good, man.
Whatever, right?
But they win.
But they
They've got
win.
they've got the talent to win. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
boys.
I'll be honest with you. Is there probably some guy out there that could run the Eagles more efficiently and give them probably a better opportunity of like being a dynasty football team? Probably. I think there is.
You're not a
I think if
Sirianni guy.
you put Jim Harbaugh or Kyle Shanahan in front of that football team, they're probably winning multiple Super Bowls. I don't know.
Yeah, because I really question if they lose this game if they don't take the ball out of Barkley's hands. Everyone's like, "Oh, this caused them to lose. This caused them to lose." I look back at the guy who I thought could have very well been the league MVP last year and say, "You ran him 6 times, and he was getting 5 yards a carry." It
Yeah,
just,
no,
just
there's
not a really
that's
good game plan.
that's Sirianni, and that's a terrible decision because we're watching bench on and you make a good point, and I'll say this how it relates to the Bears is like, and I want to actually talk to Zach Pearson about this tonight is it enough to keep the defense honest by being persistent and willing to run the ball? You know what I
Well,
mean? The Bears only run for 2 yards per carry, but because they continue to do it, there's never a point where Ben Johnson strays away from it and abandons it entirely. They run just as much as any other team in the NFL, just not for as many yards. So, like, I think Ben Johnson knows the importance of still keeping a defense honest. The defense has to believe that you're going to run the football. And yeah, Sirianni did not present that challenge for the defense on Sunday, man. So
yeah, and another game that came around was that Seattle the Tampa Bay game, man. That first half I was sitting here like, oh my god, this game's gonna suck.
I love that Tampa Bay team, man.
I do. Did you see I sent that clip in the group chat earlier of Baker Mayfield getting into it with the
Yeah,
with the
let's
Seattle
see it at
fans?
halftime. Yeah,
I love that guy even more, man.
I like Baker, man. It's a fun team. Buka's just about the most electric rookie in the league right now. Um, the piece Levante David got an interception. That guy's been doing this for like 20 years now. I mean, it's a team you want to root for, man. It is. I don't know anybody who like strongly dislikes the Buccaneers. But
And we also get a sweet treat coming up here in just a little bit because the Lions and the Tampa Bay Bucks, I believe it's October 20th, so it's coming up right around the corner about 14 days from now. They play on Monday Night Football in Detroit, and honestly, I mean, Detroit will get a crack at Philadelphia. Right now, in Tampa Bay, I mean, if you were ranking the NFC, those are probably the best three teams. I think Tampa's still a little injured. Detroit seems to be coming around. Philadelphia seems to
No,
have some cracks in the armor.
Detroit is a powerhouse. Sean, real quick. Thanks, Scott Angel. Thanks, Relentless Mikey. Thank you, Chris Goman.
Chris
I don't
Goman.
know. I don't know if I know that name. Thank you, Erica. Thank Breaking News Bruce, as always. Vizzo Joe, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We got Zach Pearson coming, so hang out for that. But I want to read this from Chris. Chris Goman says, and I think he's kind of in agreement, is regardless of what is best for AJ Brown, why would you want a diva receiver like that on your team? He's a champion. He's on a championship team that's 4-1, and he's still bitching. I think that's Sean's
Yeah.
point, especially. And I guess what I'm saying is maybe it's just the best time for everybody to move the fuck on. Maybe the Eagles don't
Yeah.
want to deal with it anymore, and maybe AJ Brown could provide. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Maybe AJ Brown could provide more to a team that needs an AJ Brown to win. You know what I mean? The Eagles don't need AJ Brown to win. They're proving that
Right.
every day. Maybe AJ Brown would play more of a role on a team that requires an AJ Brown to win football games. I mean, imagine if AJ Brown went to the Bills.
Or the Patriots.
Imagine if AJ Brown goes, or the Falcons. I was thinking about that.
Mikey.
Imagine if AJ Brown and Drake London were the Falcons receivers.
Yeah, boys and girls, just so everyone knows, about 10, 15 minutes, Zach's going to be here. He told me to be here a little bit closer to 6:30. We just wanted to run around the league really quick because we didn't get a chance last Monday because the Bears talk took us all the way around the clock. And then tonight we're going to try and get out of here about 7:50 or so because I don't want to take anyone away from game 2 of the NLDS, including myself, which I'm going to be popping some popcorn and hoping Shota can shut them down tonight and the Cubs bats can wake up. Come on, Cubbies. The Cubs lose today, man. I think it's
Yeah, it's feeling that way, man. It really
it's
is.
not. It's going to be tough to beat these guys 3 out of 4. You're going to have to win 3 in a row, pretty much, and then you're going to have to face your poppy, Freddie Peralta again. So that's going to be tough. I take it you're not a baseball fan, Mikey. Yeah, Niners beating the Rams. You're right. That was impressive. On if Chris is still in the house, Chris had his survivor pick on the Rams, and that was an upset, man. The Niners came out like a ball of fire on Thursday. Mac Jones. I have a question. Is there a quarterback controversy between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy? I mean, look at what Mac Jones is actually doing in that offense. Like everyone says, oh, Mac Jones. I think he has 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions and running that offense very efficiently.
I mean, I think when Purdy has tried to play this year, and I'll say it, that's the best I'll give him, tried to play. He's been injured, man. I believe they kind of rushed him back. I think they would have won the game last week against Jacksonville had they had left Purdy out of the game and let Mac Jones to keep doing what he was doing. So as long as there's even a little bit of question about his health, Purdy's that is, I wouldn't take Jones out of there.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? If Purdy comes in and he plays a bad football game or he plays 2 bad football games, I'm going right back to Mac Jones. It's the beauty of having a coach like Shanahan, man, is he'll make it work. You know what I mean?
You know what was impressive of that game? No Juwan Johnson, no Ricky Pearsall, no Brandon Ayuk. And
Kendrick Bourne had a monster game.
It's San Francisco is the true definition of next man up.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake Tungus, for the love of Christ, is catching touchdowns like he's George Kittle.
And you know what, man? I think they are a kind of team that not only just has depth, but they're coached well enough to where the system itself can lend to their success, even if they got to last a couple of weeks or whatever it might be without some of the guys they need most. I do agree with Kyle though. When Trent Williams went out, that was just a different football team. But it looks so far, man, as if these injuries aren't really affecting their ability to win football games. And I'm gonna credit that. And there's some talent on that team still, but I'm gonna credit that to, like I said, like a guy like Kyle Shanahan. When Kendrick Bourne's coming in and getting 10 catches for 186 yards or whatever the hell that guy did, I mean, I don't think he ever did that in New England once. So once it's the impact that coaching staff has on these players that are plugged into the right system. Same as Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell, Sean. You kind of feel as if these guys wouldn't be what they are if they weren't in the system they're in.
Yeah. And guys, we forgot to touch at the top of the show. Dustin's down with the flu, and Dustin's down. He has some family business he had to attend to, and Kyle is down with the flu. So hopefully you get better, buddy. I'm sure you're checking us out while you're puking in the toilet.
He's down with the sickness.
He is down with the sickness. And yeah, that was you're right, Mikey. There are so many dudes injured. I mean, Trey Benson was there for a week and now he's gone. I picked up Michael Carter. He did me very well. Woohoo! But
who's Michael
in your league?
Oh, he's Cincinnati.
No, Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. You want to get me like 20 points in your league for me this week? I was like, woohoo!
Yeah,
I get Jalen Warren back, which is so
man.
good.
Think about those who picked up Rico Dowdle yesterday.
Oh, you know what was funny was I kind of poo-pooed him because Kyle asked me about him on Wednesday or somebody. I can't remember. Maybe it was Jason. And I was like, Rico Dowdle. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And this dude, I might have even been Relentless Mikey in the chat. I think Mikey brought him up, to be honest. Somebody did, and I poo-pooed it. That guy poo-pooed all over me this weekend.
Yeah, he snapped, man. And I don't know that he never had anywhere near that in a Cowboys uniform, I don't believe, man. I don't know if he ever had 100 yards in a game.
Yeah, D. Camardo. And speaking of that, D. Camardo, what a dope. Back-to-back weeks, you have someone drop a touchdown.
Demericato.
Demericato?
Yeah,
now, did you see that film of his coach striking him on the sideline?
No.
Jonathan Gannon literally punched him, dude, for dropping that ball. Yes. And one of the other coaches came and got him. I mean, you can find it on X. Just Google it. It's out there. I saw it from like 10 different people. Now he hit him in the pads, but I mean, he hit him and he was visibly pissed. Like the kid wasn't taking it hard enough. Like, come on, man. I didn't like that, and I was a fan. I was a fan of him. So
yeah, I don't know if that's not going to play in Gannon's favor. If stuff like that is going on, man, that could be the end of his tenure there. I didn't see that. I didn't even hear about that till just now. That's
I'll send you a clip later.
That's going to be made. That's going to be made. No matter what it was, it's going to be made into a bigger deal than it is. So,
too, and we'll talk about this because rare occurrences happen in the NFL. Josh Allen had a fumble, an interception, and lost at home to what is Drake May's coming out party. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about that with Zach Pearson here in just a little bit because he had a little bit of he had a nice tweet today that we want to get into about the Zach or Drake May and Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. So that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to hear his thoughts. But you guys knew this. I was a big fan of Drake May. And sometimes it's more about watching with your eyes because he had 0 touchdowns in yesterday's ball game. But just him, the way he directed that offense, controlled that offense, those off-schedule throws that he had leading Stephon Diggs down the sideline on that one towards the right hash this kid was on point yesterday. He came to prove a point, and that was a statement game for him. What were your thoughts of Drake May last night, Brandon?
Yeah, I think the same. When you look at the stats, you're kind of wondering, like, well, what did he do? Everybody's talking about him, but he made plays, man. He extended plays. He moved the chains. There was times where I thought he was dead in the water, and him and Caleb are probably the most comparable of all the players in that draft, I think, because they both have an innate ability to keep their eyes downfield when things break down, and they prefer to do that before run. But when Drake May is asked to run, it hasn't been terrible. You know what I mean? The guy's a little mobile, so I like him, man. And I think under Mike Vrabel's tutelage, this is a match made in heaven. You're going to see a very long stretch of playoff appearances for this team. But yeah, I think May continues to progress and impress.
Yeah, and Chris said Chris Goldman says May passes the eye test and the leadership test so far. Big improvements in year 2. I agree with that 100% thus far going through. Foster brings up Bo Nix. Yeah, his composure in the second half of that game in Philadelphia was impressive because honestly, I thought he was folding up the tents. Because he's kind of gotten off to a little bit of a rough start this year,
Yeah,
and
I'm
all
wondering
of a
if that,
sudden,
Sean. I'm wondering if that gets him going.
yeah, it might. I mean, that was really impressive by Bo Nix to hold that composure and really just show something for a second-year quarterback like that. That was freaking awesome, man. Some good quarterback play for some second-year quarterbacks, and hopefully we get that out of one number 18 this Monday.
Well, and for a rookie as well, man. I thought the fourth quarter that Cam Ward played was phenomenal. I don't know if you were able to catch any of that, Sean. He threw for 168 yards in the fourth quarter. Oh, and
Anthropology, the
he
Cubs are not on paid TV. Sorry, Brandon. They're not on paid TV. They're on ESPN, I believe, or TBS.
every playoff game is nationally televised.
Yeah, it's
There's no baseball. The playoffs, the MLB is not going to let the Chicago Cubs
yeah, you
get
gotta
their
pay.
yeah, get their rights to that game. That
Yeah, they're
once
on
you hit the
TBS, man.
postseason, the MLB's got their hands all over that, man. But
Sorry,
and
what
I
were you
think I
saying?
think Marquee still broadcast the game, but there's no point. And if you don't have Marquee, there's no point in pursuing it. Just go watch it on national TV. I was saying, I don't know
It's
what else.
actually on TBS, and TBS comes with your standard package if you pay for television. No need for name calling. Jesus.
I thought, oh, is he mad? Did I make?
Well,
I
I'm a
mean,
moron. ESPN is
oh,
also part of your standard package. You have to pay for ESPN
that's
Plus.
cable. It's cable TV.
Yes, if you pay for cable, all TV, you pay for it these days. Everything. So
Unless you, there's some people out there they'll hack a fire stick for you or something. Um, I was just saying, man, I really thought that the fourth quarter that Cam Ward had was impressive as well. And a lot of people have been really dogging on Cam. I'm even
yeah,
seeing Cam Ward comparisons to Will Levis. Like, get the hell out of here with that. So he threw 168 yards, I believe, in the fourth quarter. He led his team back to win the game. He did throw a pass that was intercepted and then fumbled and benefited the Titans because it became a touchdown. But I did think he commanded the offense a lot better. That man, when your team is as bad as that team is, especially as badly as they're coached, just run a no huddle offense all the time. Just go. You're gonna wear your offense gonna get tired, but I mean, like that. Cam Ward looked really good when they were just getting up to the line and snapping the ball. Maybe he needs a little more of that. Clearly,
yeah. What was the thing? What was the thing that most impressed you this week? Going through the league. What was the thing that you took away? What was your most impressive moment? Mine was Drake May on Sunday Night
mine
Football, without a doubt.
mine
He
was
really impressed the shit out of me.
mine was Bryce Young responding with two early turnovers, a fumble and an interception, both very bad plays. Responding with two touchdowns in the second half to win the game. And I know Rico Dowdle made it easy for him, but he did make the throws he needed to make, and he threw two scores. And he's another guy that's been heavily criticized and fairly so. But usually, young quarterbacks like that haven't played all that well in their career kind of fall apart, Sean, after they make some
Yeah,
mistakes early in a
yeah.
game. And he showed some resiliency, and he responded to it well, and he came back and won a football game, and now they're 2-3, man. And maybe that Panthers team can finish on a better note than people thought they were going to based on the way they started. They finished last season playing really good football, man. Oh,
Yeah, really quick on that. Chris says the Titans getting their first win. He's agreeing with you there. But no, the whole Mark Sanchez thing, I haven't quite wrapped my head around that whole thing. And there's nothing we won't talk about on here, Anthropology 2000. But I saw some really wickedy, weird TMZ video that didn't look like he was drunk or he was already stabbed or something, but nothing like they said that there was going to be like video of the altercation, which I have not seen yet at all. But I
no,
did
I've read
see
it.
the
I've
photos
read
of
it.
the
I've
dude.
read it from two different sources, and it sounds like the stories align pretty well, man. I mean, it sounds like a guy went to deliver food. He parked. I don't know if it was to Mark's address. I think it was to the neighbor's address. He parked in the wrong place. Mark Sanchez kind of snapped at him. From what is
Yeah.
being pitched, as far as I've read from two different sources, the guy started to defend himself because Mark Sanchez was growing aggressive and he sprayed him with mace. So Mark Sanchez, I believe, attempted to physically assault the guy before he stabbed him. Man. That's
He
and then
definitely did something.
Sanchez was arrested, so he's not innocent.
No,
That's
he's
for
not.
damn
I
sure.
mean, the video I
I don't
saw.
know that he was the assailant. Dante, what's going on, brother?
What's up,
What's going
Dante?
on, Foster? What's up, everybody who joined us? Melon Smash is here. Thank you for being here. Everybody who joined us late, guys, we appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. You obviously want to hear the whole story before you decide who's wrong and who's right in that. But I mean, I guess it's good the guy recovered. I've got no ill will towards Mark Sanchez. I'm glad. I don't know what point an altercation gets to where you feel like you got to stab a guy. I mean, if Mark Sanchez is a fighter, anything like he was a quarterback, you probably would have been okay.
Yeah, that slash through the face was pretty brutal. I heard it slashed through his cheek and his tongue or some shit like that. He cut him.
Who?
The guy that 69-year-old guy that he stabbed, the truck driver. You see the video, the pictures
Oh,
of
Mark
the
Sanchez
hospital?
stabbed
Yeah.
him too.
I guess. I mean, the video.
I know he got his. Yeah, I know his face was pretty severely injured.
Yeah, it's really weird, dude.
Oh
He
yeah.
said, Chris said the cops found Sanchez at the bar bleeding an hour later. Yeah, I have not really gotten into that story. I'll be perfectly
Oh, so
honest.
he was on some narcotics or something.
He was
Then
probably on something. That
he didn't
video
know
I saw.
he didn't know he was stabbed.
Yeah, he went to a bar. That's something we would do, though.
That's something you do if you're heavily inebriated, man. Melon Smasher says preparation meets opportunity. We will see how this team prepared for Revenge vs. Washington. Yeah, Melon Smasher, I agree. And I did a show last week. Dustin joined me late. I had started on my own, but I the three things that I said the Bears need to focus on in this bye week to me was health. Obviously, that's what bye weeks are for. Personnel, like getting packages for your rookies, deciding where guys should be. Is Edwards your middle linebacker, your outside linebacker? Now that Sewell's back on the bench, you got these decisions at the tackle positions you need to make. So I thought personnel was another thing this Bears team needed to focus on, and then roster adjustments.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of falls under personnel. But yeah, make sure you know where guys are supposed. Oh, and then I also thought that the Ben should start to install a little more of this offense. I think Caleb's responded really well to what they've done so far, but I think they could open it up a little bit.
It's going to be very interesting, and I know that they looked really good in the LA yesterday. Something's going on with the Chargers team. It doesn't look like the same team that started the season. I mean, they were manhandled by Washington. They were manhandled by the Giants with a rookie quarterback. So maybe the Chargers were one of those teams that just got off to a hot start that isn't as good as we initially thought they were. Obviously, losing Mario Hampton is a huge deal for the Chargers. I wanted to touch on these Colts all do look really good. And to me, it's really funny. Brian Dable gets rid of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones turns into Josh Allen. He's running and chucking and dunking and diving and looks like a brand new quarterback away from Brian Dable. Maybe the Giants should be watching this and being like, yeah, it's time to get this guy out of here before he ruins Jackson Dart. I've been impressed with Jackson Dart. I know on the surface it doesn't look like he's blowing the doors off, but I like his composure. I like what I like. I mean, the doors fell off for the Giants yesterday. They turned the ball over 4 times in like a minute 30 or something.
Yeah, and Swaggy makes a good point here too. They have lost now Slater and Joe Alts. They're missing both their starting tackles. Now they're missing their running back. I don't know, Sean, that I see things getting any better from here for that team.
Yeah, you know what?
And I don't know, Sean. This is something I've been thinking. Me and Dustin have brought it up on Thursday's show, but like, I don't know that they got the right guy. I don't know that Justin Herbert is a Jim Harbaugh guy. Justin Herbert is a gunslinger. Jim Harbaugh
not the style quarterback
wants to. Yeah, I think I don't know that that'll be the ultimate ending there. I don't know that Jim Harbaugh doesn't look for something else.
And holy moly, we got our boy checking in. We're going to add him from the Bear Report, 247 Pro Football Writers Association. What's going on? Friend of the show, Zach Pearson's in the house.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good,
What's
man.
going
How
on,
you doing?
Zach? Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, no problem. Doing good. Enjoyed the bye week, so back to the grind now.
Are you going to be out in the nation's capital this week?
I will not be there this week. No, I got
No.
a couple things to do this weekend. But no, not this week. Pretty much the rest of the road games. So I couldn't make the Vegas one. It was my kid's birthday. So yeah, no chance a wife would have let me go out to Vegas.
That's a good reason not to go.
Yeah, I gotta take that one on the chin. But yeah, no Washington, and then the rest I'll be there. So
Nice. We were just talking going around the NFL since the Bears were off. Our most impressive thing for the weekend. Brandon said Cam Ward. I took Drake May's performance.
I said Bryce Young throwing the two
Bryce
touchdowns
Young.
after the turnovers.
Yeah. And I took Drake May's performance last night against Buffalo, which just blew my mind that Josh Allen looked so bad and Drake May looked so good. What was the thing that impressed you the most this weekend?
There's probably two. I think Drake May's obviously at the top of my list. That was just impressive, and just how like he just pretty much outplayed Josh Allen on the road. I still think the Bills will be fine. I think they got a couple of issues, but like they still have Josh Allen. I'm still like, I don't know why, but I still get impressed with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. I think he gets. I mean, I know they beat the crap out of the Jets, who stink, but like he gets so much crap, and he's turned in a pretty good season so far without CeeDee Lamb. They were throwing to guys. I have no idea who Flournoy was or whoever that guy was.
There's no doubt about it. That football team loses games on defense.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because like I feel like if they had a star pass rusher, I don't wonder where that guy went. They'd probably be better. I'd probably go Drake May, and then trying to go through the rest of them. But yeah, probably May stands out. I think the Cowboys stand out.
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle. Tampa Bay going out and getting another road win.
That was awesome.
Baker Mayfield was awesome. I don't know how the Browns gave up on that guy. That's a big mistake.
Part for the course, right?
Right. Yeah, that's why the Cleveland Browns
or the Panthers, man. Panthers had a bad Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, well,
I think where they might have been.
Yeah, they and he was doing scout team stuff for them, but I guess it took 2 games with Sean McVay in Los Angeles to kind of turn his career around and get a new job and get a new home. And I mean, someone here says Baker MVP. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be right there, right? Like he's got to be top 3. I'm guessing. I even looked at the odds. I'm probably gonna guess Josh Allen's probably still number 1, but I imagine Baker's 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I would imagine it changed. Justin Herbert was 3rd, but after this weekend, there's no way that's the case. No way.
Yeah, no chance.
Baker was 6th, but I'm sure he moved up the ranks for sure.
Baker's the man. I love Baker Mayfield so much.
Yeah,
I have him in one of my 3 leagues, and I'm just happy I get to watch him every week.
Dude, he is like the perfect mix of like cocky, but like also backs it up and like, just plays really well, has a good arm, tough as nails. Like he's just that perfect mix where like, some of those guys like you hate when they're on your team or you're not on your team, but you love when they're on your team. I think he's just everyone loves him. They should love him because he's just that perfect mix.
So we were talking a little bit about Drake May, and I saw your tweet earlier today about it was all about Jaden versus Caleb. Now maybe it should be Caleb versus Drake May. Kind of wanted to get your thoughts. Last year the Bears were 4-2, and we were all riding high going into the bye, and they came out and they lost 10 straight games.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts coming out of this bye that you think will just be a little bit different? Ben Johnson, will this offense start to show some kind of identity in the run game, or what's your biggest thing coming out of this bye you want to see from this Bears team?
Yeah, I mean, looking at last year, when it all fell apart in that Washington game, a lot of it was coaching and whatever happened with Tyreek Stevenson, no doubt. I think this year, the bye's early. It's 2 straight years with an early bye. I think this year it's coming at the right time in terms of injuries.
Yeah.
You're looking at a banged up secondary. You got a couple guys on the offense, banged up. I think that's probably coming at the right time where they need to get some of these guys healthy, get a week off, kind of reset. And I just think the coaching is so much better already through 4 games than what we saw last year. I was looking at it today and I was kind of thinking, they still have some big questions to answer. They can't stop the run. They're still giving up like 5.5 yards a carry. They can't run the football. That's another tough one. And they're going up against a team that, right now, Washington's running the football really damn well. They're taking the pressure off Shane Daniels. He's very comfortable in the pocket. And then, defensively, Washington's been pretty solid this year. They haven't been great, but they've been good enough to win some of these games. So, yeah, I would say just the vibes of the coaching staff, the culture. It kind of doesn't feel like the season's going to fall apart. I don't think, I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be as bad as last year. But still, I mean, they got to get healthy. They got to stop the run. They got to get to the passer, and they got to run the football. If they can just do, 2 of those 3 things, I think they'll be in better shape.
No.
That brings me to a question I wanted to ask you. Then you kind of answered, but I think you could probably elaborate a little more on this specifically. I think the Bears have been fortunate enough to take the ball away to prevent teams from scoring.
Yeah,
because when they're just left on the field, they almost always end up in the end zone. And then on the other side of the field, you're not running the ball effectively, but just the idea that you're willing to has been keeping the defense honest for Ben Johnson, because he hasn't abandoned the run. He continues to do it no matter how much it hasn't worked. And I want to ask you, Zach, are either of these things sustainable? I mean, using the run as a decoy, just being willing to use the run to keep a defense honest without doing it effectively, and then taking the ball away at a high rate to prevent teams from scoring. Are these things sustainable?
I think if I had to pick one of the 2, it'd be taking the football away on the defensive side. I just think, while they can't really get to the passer as often as you'd like, they're still forcing these takeaways. I think the talent's there to force these takeaways.
Yeah, secondary is great, man.
Yeah, secondary is really good. And, for as bad as Tremaine Edmonds has played in the last couple of years, I think he's been fine this year and good enough. But, running the football, they're going to have to, because eventually, like you said, I mean, that's going to kind of wear down. Like, Ben Johnson isn't going away from it, but it's just not working. And he's trying to keep the defenses honest. And I think eventually you're going to get to the point where the defense is just going to say, look, we can probably stop the run with just 4 down linemen. Maybe let's send some pressure. Let's kind of drop some guys into coverage, kind of play safe. Because if you look at Ben Johnson's offense, look at him in Detroit, he had that 2-headed monster with Montgomery and Gibbs. They were never going to have that level here right away. They still have to build towards that. But they're getting nothing from their run game, essentially. You take out Caleb Williams' rushing stats, and they're probably one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL. His numbers from week 1, past couple of weeks have really inflated that. So I think the only one sustainable, I would say, is probably the defense. But even then, I mean, it might take a little tick down because, Kevin Byard's not going to pick it off twice a game. And they're still missing a key piece in Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon as well.
We're talking about this run game, and the rumor mill is running wild per usual. There's 2 names to kick the tires on, and I just want to know if you heard anything around Halas Hall, anything that maybe Bears fans might get a little excited about when it comes to maybe an Alvin Kamara and or a Breece Hall. We'll throw him in the mix.
Yeah, nothing that I've heard that they're going to pursue anyone. And I think here's the thing to kind of keep an eye on is the Jets are really bad. They're a team that, in my opinion, nothing that I've heard or anything like that, they should just blow it all up and restart. I think you probably just keep Sauce Gardner. You probably keep Garrett Wilson, and you just try and trade as much as pieces as you can. Will they do that? I don't know. The thing with running backs are you're going to be asking a lot, but the life on them, the wear and tear on them, they don't have the shelf life as they used to, and you're probably not going to get a 1st or 2nd round pick for Hall. Kamara is interesting because I don't know. I feel like he potentially wants to go to a winner because New Orleans is not going anywhere. But he's also been so true to that franchise and coming back and sticking around that, he's a tough one. I'd probably prefer Kamara over Breece Hall, but nothing that I've heard suggests they're going to make a trade. And with Ryan Poles, I mean, I have to wonder if some of these trades in the past have kind of,
Jaded him a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of makes him a little hesitant to do anything, like trading for Chase Claypool. And I know they needed a pass rusher, but you're trading for Montez Sweat. You're paying Montez Sweat to be a star pass rusher, and I don't think he's been a star this year.
No.
So yeah, some of these trades are, Jonah Jackson's struggling a little bit. I think he's a little hesitant right now.
Well, I got to ask you this. We'll stay on topic then. Is there an answer for improvement already on this roster at that position?
2026 NFL draft, I'm guessing.
Is Monangai just a miss entirely? I mean, I don't expect him to solve all the world's problems, but is there room for improvement with just the personnel you've got on this football team?
And Roshan Johnson.
Well, okay, so we'll break it down into two. I think if there's one player that could break out to have a better rest of the season, Monangai in the running back room, yeah, I think he'd be it, but he's a 7th round pick. To me, it's a lottery ticket. 7th rounders, 6th rounders are lottery tickets.
I agree.
If he fails, he fails. Now, the thing that hurts you is, you probably wanted a couple of these running backs that were in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th round range. And if you go back and look at the draft when the Bears traded, when they traded picks back, there were a couple running backs that went right before they picked. And Travion Henderson's the one that everyone's talking about. Quishon Junkins went 4 picks before them, I believe. There was a kid. I don't know if it was a kid from Oregon or maybe one of the others.
No, Jaquez Hunter was from Auburn.
Yeah, there was another kid. Maybe it was a West Coast kid that went and they traded like in the 4th, 5th round. It was. I don't know. That's so long ago. But
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's a lottery ticket. Well, with Roshan Johnson, I don't know what's going on with that. That's confusing to me because, like, you kept him to be your short yardage back. Like, that's your guy. That's your short yardage guy, and he's just been relegated to special teams duties. Like, he doesn't have a carry this year. I don't believe
No.
If he does, it's late 4th quarter when the games are out of hand or something. But yeah, so the running back room's been so disappointing, and I don't think Swift's terrible. I don't think he's very good or great. But yeah, they needed another running back, and I have to wonder. Like, I look at Javonte Williams just running the football down people's throats in Dallas, and I'm like, he would have been the perfect back here. But at the same time, he was coming off an injury. You didn't know what you're going to get, and the Bears obviously really didn't show a lot of interest in him. So yeah, we'll have to see. I do think a solution. Probably 2026 NFL draft is what you're looking at, because look at DeAndre Swift's cap hit for next year. Very real chance that he's not on this team.
I mean, they could have had J.K. Dobbins too, which was a little frustrating.
When you bring up Dobbins, and I would like to see a dart throw at somebody like Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Just to see if it gets you through this season, man. I'm not expecting big things, but I'm expecting a guy who can take some of the workload and do it at a professional veteran level. Like, I don't. You're not going to pay that guy a lot of money.
No,
I mean? So,
you can you can bring someone in at a veteran minimum or a very cheap deal to come in and get you something if you don't go the trade route. But to this point, how they've handled the running back situation has been really weird. Like, only having 2 on the roster on the 53-man initial was odd, or having only DJ Moore at that practice because everyone else was hurt. And, it's just a little odd to me.
Yeah, and I'm with Foster here. I think, he's 100% healthy now, maybe coming out of the bye. Maybe Roshan will get a little love. I've been trying to figure this out. I'm a big Roshan guy.
Same.
I like what he did in short yardage on the Chicago Bears when he was given the opportunities. I mean, he was given the ball inside the red zone. He executed every time. He didn't fumble the ball. He held on to it. I don't know what he's not doing or they're not seeing that just he's been eliminated from this running back room. It's really baffling to me. Like,
well, and it's also like you look around the NFL yesterday and okay, Arizona loses their top 2. They lose Connor, they lose Benson, and they get Michael Carter off of the practice squad, and he's rushing for a touchdown and has a solid game. And, DeMercado should have, big mistake, but, he would have had a touchdown and 83 yards right off the bench. And, Rico Dowdle in Carolina's having a big game. It's just odd to me that the Bears haven't been able to figure out
Yeah, this
what's
position
going
seems
on.
to be a plug and play, does it not? I mean,
Yeah.
if there's a position in the NFL that you could probably get a guy who's serviceable, and I don't mean like a 3-down stud of a back. This position in the NFL is the place where you're going to find it. Just a
Absolutely.
serviceable veteran who's done it. That's why, like a guy like Gus Edwards has been in so many different systems. He knows how this stuff works. You could probably plug him in. You could sign him today and use him on Monday night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It makes me wonder because, like you said, I think we're in the age of running backs now where you can draft one in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, and he can be an impact player for you. It makes me wonder if they even thought about Amarian Hampton at 10, and maybe they thought, okay, Travion Henderson is going to be there. Hopefully,
They took a risk.
yeah, we can. We'll take a risk, and hopefully one of our guys is there. And it's nothing against Colston Loveland. I'm not saying Colston Loveland can't be good. I just wonder if that was kind of their thought process. Like, the offensive tackles are off the board. There's a running back. Maybe we'll go running back, tight end. So yeah, it'd be kind of interesting if Ryan Poles ever talks about that in future press conferences.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know where you guys stand on this, but I would have been all over trading for Tank Bigsby. I mean, he basically went to the Eagles for a bag of balls, and he might be better than anything on the roster right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen what he's done so far this year. I know Philadelphia's got their own struggles with that run game, but I mean, yeah, I don't think they gave up, right? They didn't give up much for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the one that really hurts, and Bucky Irving is one that you look back and you're like, oh man, like, yeah, I get the whole Torrey Taylor thing, but man, Bucky Irving would have been nice in this offense.
What really, you hit the nail on the head, Zach. I agree with you. And we talked about, me and Dustin had talked about this on Thursday. It's just, the approach is weird. Right now, the approach has been weird. Ben Johnson has been progressing and showing you he's that leader of a team, showing you that he's still got the offense that he schemed back in Detroit. The running back thing has just been so strange. They've approached it so strangely. They just keep trying to force Swift up the middle. We know this doesn't work. Not only that, they haven't used the guys that are on this roster other than Swift. Like you said, they went in with 2 guys on the roster, strange as well. And it begs you to question, no matter how much you liked Colston Loveland, did Ben Johnson was he not aware of the fact that maybe this offense, the play action offense, doesn't really succeed without the guy like Omarion Hampton at number 10? I mean, was that a necessary piece for this offense to succeed?
I think they're thinking we're fine. I think they either thought we're fine with our run game going into the draft, where we can take a chance at a luxury pick at 10.
Yeah.
Or we're going to get someone in the 2nd, 3rd round. I think that's the only thing I can think of is
just misgauged it.
Yeah, they might have just misread it. But another thing, it's like Ryan Poles has this habit of just drafting based on traits, and he'll draft injured guys for whatever reason. He'll just draft them based on traits. And I mean, you drafted Colston Loveland, who was hurt and has a shoulder injury, and he's been struggling to get on the field. He's got a couple other picks that have been struggling to get on the field. So,
yeah, we got a red-shirted draft pick.
It's
very uncommon.
I said it to someone a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking back. I'm like, it does feel like he not falls in love, but there's a connection with the players that he wants good people, which is fine. I get it. Like you don't, as good as Jalen Carter is, and I was on that train for a little bit. Like you don't want, jackasses in the locker room all the time, like a Chase Claypool. And I think he kind of learned from that. But he talked about the story. I forgot the defensive lineman. A couple of years ago, 7th round pick. Blank on saying they brought him back from the practice squad once, and he's just like talk about how he had worked a job in college and he worked at the grocery store, and that's why we want to pick. Like, I'm just like, man, you got to have some mean guys on that defense and offense. Like,
I don't want the sob stories.
You can have a couple of that. That's fine. You can have the training camp hero and things like that. Travis Bell, that's who the guy was. Nothing against him. Yeah. Very undersized defensive lineman. Again, a lottery ticket, but at the same time, why not draft a quarterback at that spot? Why not draft a punter, a kicker, something like that you just take a gamble on? Because I'm under the the rule that you probably should draft a quarterback or look at a quarterback every single year, no matter what. And I'm not saying replace Caleb Williams or anything like that, but get a 6th, 7th round pick in here, bring him on your practice squad, see what he's got. There you go. So you can cut. It doesn't really cost much to cut him. So I feel like Ryan Poles just, I don't know. I feel like sometimes he just drafts too much on the traits and not on the sure things or the guys that have played,
I agree. I agree with that 100%. Like,
it's just frustrating.
He zigs when everyone drags. Yeah. He does things very unorthodox. What bothers me most about Ryan Poles is like the coaches have a lot of influence on who you're drafting, and I think especially with this most recent draft, he's kind of being told who we like and who we don't like and this and that, but it's his responsibility as a general manager to know where to take somebody. So if Dennis Allen says to you in the 4th round, hey, get this Hippolyte guy, I really like this Hippolyte guy, it's Ryan Poles' job to be like, yeah, maybe in the 6th round, man. You know what I mean? Like it's like from everything that I'm reading from all my sources and scouts, this guy will be available later in the draft. So we don't need you know what I mean? And that's the thing where the punter in the 4th round, if you told me that nobody was going to draft Torrey Taylor, I'd believe you.
Yeah. I think he would have been drafted. I think you could have got him the next round. But then again, like you look and he had to be talked out of trading up for Rome Odunze. If you remember that clip that the Bears put out.
Ian Cunningham.
Yeah,
right?
Ian Cunningham. Stay put. Stay put. And he did, and Rome Odunze was there, and they tried to trade up for Torrey Taylor, and he had to be kind of talked back about that. Like, that's kind of stuff, the overdrafting. And maybe Ruben Hippolyte.
I was going to just say Ruben Hippolyte this year.
Yeah, maybe he turns out to be a great player. I don't know, but who knows? It just feels. I mean, the whole the whole. I understand they're going to take Caleb number 1. That's totally fine. Like, get it, but like you still have to do your due diligence on every quarterback prospect. Yeah. It reminds me of Ryan Pace with Mitch Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And then you hear, Ryan Poles had J.J. McCarthy as his second, higher than Drake May and Jane Daniels. And you're just kind of like, what's going on here? Like, I'm glad they got Caleb. I'm totally fine with that. But if they wouldn't have gotten Caleb,
thank God.
Yeah, what would have happened? They would have been going J.J. McCarthy over Drake May and Jane Daniel. Like, that's just we'll see. Hopefully,
would they have gone McCarthy at 9? Probably. Ugh.
That's probably what they would have done, right? They probably would have sat back or traded back or whatever it was.
And Ben Johnson probably wouldn't be here.
No.
I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Maybe Ben Johnson being here does help. We only got 1 draft with them so far. That's all we've had so far. So we don't fully know what Ben Johnson wanted, this, that. We'll see. I think we'll see next year and the year after. It
kind of come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Detroit team, once he got there, that's when these guys, they drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown when Johnson got there. They drafted Gibbs. They drafted Laporta. These guys were all part of drafts Ben Johnson was actively part of. These guys weren't here before he was there.
Yeah.
So, and he traded up to get Gibbs, and people were like, man, this is crazy to do that for a running back, but it still happened.
Yeah.
So I agree. I didn't like, and maybe, and I'll say, because I'm not in the draft room, none of us are, maybe they thought in that 2nd round, Henderson and Burden would both be there for those 2 picks they had really close to each other, and their draft board would have been rounded out, possibly. And it just didn't fall their way. Sometimes the draft doesn't,
Yeah.
So,
and I think, I think if Burden was there a couple picks later, they would have taken him too if they had Henderson. I think they're so high because you have to look. I mean, whatever's going on with DJ Moore, he's not getting into a rhythm lately. You want Burden as your future. You want Rome Odunze as your future. But I mean, they need to, you got to solidify those trenches even more. You can't stop, solidifying the trenches. You got to keep going there.
Scott Angel says, can we finally draft a left tackle and a defensive end?
And there's definitely no verdict on any of these guys the Bears have drafted. Colston Loveland, Luther Burden,
nothing.
Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Stewart. These guys could Shamar Turner. These guys could all be really good players. The only thing that makes you wonder about this first draft class of Ben Johnson's, and I'll ask you, Zach, is like, we're watching other players on other teams making impacts right now, and it makes you wonder,
Tyler Warren.
did they just draft the wrong guy? I mean, your Tyler Warren, Emeka Egbuka, some of the edge rushers in this draft are already kind of making just players at positions that the Bears needed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did they just take the wrong guys? I mean, 'cause they got themselves a cornerback, which they could have used this year, but the guy can't play.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you look at a guy like James Pierce Jr. out in Atlanta, went under 20, like 15, 16, 17 range. He was a guy, that could have came in and been a pass rusher. Tyler Warren's another one. I think like even Amari and Hampton, I keep going back to that. And yeah, I just wonder. I mean, like you said, it's nothing is decided. We won't know for another couple years. Yeah, it takes a couple years. But also, what would they have been in this offense too, or what would they have been here? So I don't know. It's just
would they have gotten the same grace because Ben Johnson clearly is not ready to throw these guys into the fire. This is going to be a slow rolling process. We're seeing that for sure.
Yeah,
I think the guy that he anticipated would play a lot was Loveland, and he's back.
Yeah, Loveland and probably Burden a little more. Then you go back to Ozzie Trapillo, and it's like you drafted a guy that can't play left tackle. So now you got to figure out what you're going to do next year. Yeah, it's Josh Simmons is another one. He ended up in Kansas City, right? He's the Ohio State tackle. The thing with him, though, if he would have played a full year last year, he was probably going top five. He was a fantastic tackle. So,
and I get back to this here when we talk about Emeka over Burden, Emeka Egbuka is getting the playing time right now. I think when Burden does get his playing time, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, Zach, I think people are going to realize this dude should have been a first-round pick. Luther Burden is so talented.
Yeah, 100%.
People don't realize how good this guy really is, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Burden's. Yeah, I don't have an issue with either Emeka or Burden. I think they're both going to be really damn good wide receivers. Yeah. They got other issues too that they got to kind of figure out. And running the football is the big one. And fixing the offensive line, figuring out who's going to be your left tackle, who's going to be your right tackle, and kind of going forward with that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there, let's get into that right now. The big news obviously was the Canadian Destroyer is now going to be on the left side. Braxton is officially benched. And now, from all signs that I've been reading, and you're a little bit closer to the situation, looks like Darnell Wright is on track to play in the nation's capital this Monday. So we'll have Darnell Wright and we'll have Benedict, thank you, on the left side. Is this the first sign of things that'll change? Because I want to get here. If Jonah Jackson, and I want to ask you this, if Jonah Jackson continues to struggle, can we see him replaced by Luke Newman on this offensive line?
I don't think they'll go to Luke Newman right away. I think they'll do this. I think you had to make the move with Braxton. I was talking to people before, during training camp and before the season started, and said, you have to look at that bye week. And no matter who wins that left tackle job, you have that bye week to assess everything with that left tackle. You have 4 games. That is enough. That's more than enough time. You look at it, I think they had to make the switch to Theo. I think like when you had Theo on the left and Ozzie on the right, they did a lot better job against Max Crosby. They didn't. Yeah, there he goes. They didn't fully dominate Max Crosby. He's still going to get his. But they just looked better. Yeah, it was good enough. I think you go in now. You go with Benedict at left. You go with Darnell Wright at right tackle. You have Ozzie there as the backup right tackle potential. I don't think it'll be the backup left tackle. I think there's Braxton there. Jonah Jackson. I don't know. And I was not very high on Luke Newman. I'll say I didn't think he could play at all. Coming out of the draft, I was a little shocked at that. He's actually been pretty good in training camp and been pretty good in the preseason. So we'll have to kind of see. I think looking forward though, this offseason, there'll be some big questions. Like, do you finally move Darnell Wright to the left side? Do you try to get in a right tackle? Do you try to go after another left tackle? I don't know, man. It's going to be another offseason of trying to figure out that offensive line. And it feels like we're doing this every single year, essentially.
Yeah. I got a lot of people saying this, bringing this name up in the chat. So I'm going to ask you, Zach, what kind of impact do you think on a team that really needs one can Austin Booker have on this football team?
I mean, he had a hell of a preseason before he got hurt. My thing with that was he did it last year and it really didn't develop, but he looks bigger this year from what I saw from him. He looked like he's just, the motor was there more in the preseason. He kind of understands what he has to do. I don't think, it's going to be a negative because they just really haven't got anything out of the pass rush anyway. So he doesn't really have to be a star to be that much better. So I think, it'll be a good third rotational guy coming in. I think they got to get more out of Montez Sweat and Dio. That's just the bottom line. You're paying those guys a lot of money. You got to get,
Yep.
get sacks.
100% agree. That was one of the major ifs on the success of this defensive line, man, is if Montez Sweat can become that guy, if Dio's better than the guy he was on the Colts. And
well, I was going to say, too, what are your thoughts on Drew Dolman? As someone just brought him up saying Coleman Shelton's having a better season with the Rams. I was actually really big on the Bears signing Drew Dolman, but he looks a little, say, not athletic enough for this offense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more concerned with those bad snaps. He's had a couple, and we saw those in training camp, too. I just, there's some issues there. Watched him in Atlanta when I went back and they signed him. And I could see why he was a top center because it wasn't a strong center market. I think Josh Myers, right, was the other top one, the former Packer center.
Yeah.
The money you're paying, man, you need a little more. You can't have those bad snaps. Like, would they have 2 against the Raiders? Remember the one that Crosby almost jumped on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's only 4 games. Things can kind of work itself out better with more reps, but. Yeah, actually, someone from our site kind of wrote on the free agent pickups and trades, and not a lot of great in it yet. But 4 games, we'll see here another couple 4 to 5 games where they're kind of at. But yeah, the money you're giving Dahlman and honestly the whole line. Outside of Joe Thuney, it's been kind of for me at some points.
Yeah, and too, when you listen to head coach talk, he said, "Man, we look to be playing our best football in December," so he knows it's going to be a work as well. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm gonna enjoy the ride, kind of the rise, and see how this goes. Because for me, and I mean Brandon and Zach, I don't know if there's competency at the top of this chain this time around, and I feel a lot better that they're going to make these things. The right moves, because I do feel just watching the technique and of Benedette being able to get out of his stance and be able to get back a lot faster than Braxton Jones, who seemed to be stuck in slow-mo trying to get out of his stance. So he's losing the bull rush. So I think them picking up, it took them 4 weeks to say, hey, this is enough of this, and we're moving on. They're moving their chess pieces, and I like it. So,
and the thing is, like, the NFL, we want results right away. It's also a league that you see a worst to first team almost every single year. You feel like it's a wasted year if you struggle, and the Bears have struggled the last 4 to 5 years, and you want results right away. Realistically, I mean, like going into this year, playoffs, like just hang in there was kind of like my thing. Like just be in the hunt at the end, put yourself in a spot week 14, 15, where all right, we got to win this game to kind of stay alive type situation. But no, I think they got the right guys coming in with Ben Johnson, the head coach. I think we'll see after this year, potentially maybe some changes on the staff. I don't know for sure anything like that, but like I could kind of see where he'd want to maybe move on from someone in an area that's not really working out. But yeah, they have the right base. They have the right head coach, in my opinion. We've already seen like he's a psycho. He's a football psycho, which is what you want. It's exactly what you want. None of this crap that we had to go through last year with Matty Rufus and that coaching staff. It was just soft crap. It was not football. It was not good. It was not a good situation. So, yeah, it's going to take a little time, but hopefully this year they can just hang in there till the end and just kind of make a go at it.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Sean. The competency at the top, that's the culture shift. And when you're making moves, like the fact that we can even see Benedette play because Braxton wasn't playing well enough, that's a cultural decision. You know what I mean? That sends a message. If you're not getting it done, the next guy's going to play. Zach, real quick, I want to ask you, what is this team's identity? Do they have one through 4 weeks?
I think they are a team that's well coached. I think they're a team that's not gonna. I'd be shocked if they're blown out again like they were against the Lions. I don't think they're gonna lay down. I think there'll be dogs in a bunch of these games coming up, but they'll be right there at the end. I just think, like, answer your question, I think they're hard. Make it hard for other teams to beat them at times. Like, I don't think they're gonna lay down or anything like that. But I think it all starts with the quarterback. I think it's still all with the quarterback. However he goes is where this team's going to go. That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think me and Dust, the two things we said about this team in regards to their identity through 4 weeks is you can tell they're a tough team. They compete.
Yeah.
And you can their identity right now, unfortunately, because they're not getting this run thing going right now. I think you're right. Caleb Williams is this team's identity. He's throwing them out of third downs. I think they have the longest average third down in the NFL at 8 yards. And Caleb's making plays and keeping them in the game and moving chains. And right now, that is the identity. I don't know if that's sustainable either, though.
Yeah, and you look back at the last game against the Raiders. I mean, that's a game we've seen so many times with this Bears team, and 99% of the time they were going to lose that game. You were like, what the heck's going on here? And, it was sloppy. It wasn't the best win, the best looking win. They learned how to win. Like someone said there in the chat, they learned how to win that game. Like, that's what you need. You need that team needs this roster needs to know how to win. And I hate to say it like that way, but like they haven't done a lot of winning over the last couple of years. So to get that game is good. But again, you have a pretty tough schedule. You don't know if you're going to get Lamar Jackson. You don't know who else is injured. What's going to happen with the Commanders game. Just get through these next couple of games, win some of these games, and kind of put yourself in that spot.
Well, our time's ticking away with Zach on this episode, but we can't let you go as the Redskins open as a 4.5-point favorite over the Bears next Monday night at Northwest Stadium. I got to ask you, my friend, are the Bears pulling that upset in the nation's capital on Monday Night Football?
The Bulls certainly aren't.
The Bulls are certainly not.
Well, if the Bulls are playing, the Wizards are pretty bad too. So the Wizards are pretty stinky too.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, what is that, 4.5 right now?
Yeah, it's 4.5.
Man, prime time in Washington, Monday Night Football. I think the Bears will cover. I think they'll probably lose like a field goal. I haven't been good betting this year, so bet against me if you
Perfect. Now we know what to do.
Yeah, I haven't been good. So I think it's a tough game coming out the bye. It's on the road. If it was at home, I probably would have taken the Bears. I think Jane Daniels looks pretty healthy. So we'll have to kind of see. I mean, that knee thing kind of popped up out of nowhere. But, I think the Bears are going to cover, but they're going to lose this one. I think they'll beat the Saints. I think they'll kind of go on a little bit of a run with a couple wins here. I think they got the Saints and what they got after that? The Giants, maybe?
No, I think it was Saints, Bengals.
Saints, Bengals.
Yeah, Ravens, Giants.
That's the next 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Vikings after all that.
So you got 6 here. Honestly, I think if you go, let's see, 3-3 in that's not terrible. I would not think that's terrible. 4-2 is obviously good. You got to avoid the 2-4, 1-5. If you're at 1-5, then puts you at what, 3-7, your season's done. Even 2-4, you're at what, 4-6. Yeah. That's pretty tough because you still have Green Bay, 2 more times, and you have Philadelphia,
49ers. Yeah, it gets ugly, man. And now we're watching. Even that Browns team is making good football teams.
That Browns team is going to scare this offensive line to death.
Yeah, you're not. That's not a guaranteed win or anything like that anymore. That's if you win, you're going to be paying for it. That's going to be a tough win.
I'll tell you what, I felt better about the Commanders game before yesterday, watching them beat the hell out of a good football team.
Man, on the road too. I know LA doesn't have a good home field advantage, but sheesh, that's
me too.
Yeah, that's not That's not an easy team out
But
there.
sheesh.
Yeah.
So Zach, are you a North Sider or a South Sider?
So I live on the west. I live in the west suburbs. I am a Cubs fan, but my wife's a White Sox fan. I don't hate the White Sox. I'm a Cubs fan
Me
though.
neither. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
I don't.
I like both, man. I'll say
I
it right
don't.
now,
Yeah.
right here and now.
I don't mind it. I'm not going out of my way to root for the White Sox or anything like that. But I don't hate them. Yeah, it's interesting. I know the Cubs kind of put themselves in a hole.
Yeah, they got to get this one tonight, man. Shota's got
Yeah.
to be the man tonight,
8
without a doubt.
8 o'clock starts are just so dumb.
I know for Chicago. At least Wednesday's 4, and then we're back
Is
at
it?
8 on Thursday. Yeah, I'm a diehard North Sider. I grew up in the Ravenswood neighborhood. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm a diehard North Sider. I personally hate the White Sox. They're on my top 10 most hated teams, but that was my family. My family, you were either Cubs or Sox, and you didn't root for the other one. So
Okay.
I was born and bred that way.
Yeah, I hate the Cardinals and Brewers way more than I hate the White Sox. I don't know.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. 100%. Mine are Minnesota, Green Bay, St. Louis, Milwaukee are my top 4. So
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one too.
yeah, we're gonna get this one tonight, Erica. Come on, you gotta have a little confidence with me, girl.
She says Shote Homer Naga.
I know. You know what? I
Oh,
think
boy.
today he's gonna come out. He's gonna pitch a gem. He's gonna get a 6. We're gonna turn it over to the bullpen that's rested. Our big dogs, Palencia, Keller, wrap this thing up and get back to Wrigley and still win this thing in 5. We got to force the Brewers to play Peralta in Game 4. We have to do that.
I hope so. I was actually at the game Wednesday. I took my son to the game, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, of
Oh
course.
no, it was a winner.
No, that was the
No, it was
loser.
the
That was the
loser,
loser.
3-0.
Yeah. We got really cheap tickets like right before the game. I was like, let's go, whatever, let's do it. And then, so I banned myself from going to the postseason.
Yeah, so it's your fault, Zach.
Yeah, I
You
banned
blew it,
myself.
man.
I'll stay home for everyone. And I probably can't afford to go to the rest of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say one is enough, man.
Yeah.
You want to know what's funny is I banned myself from Bears playoff games because I went to like 5 losses in a row, and I'm like, dude, I'm never. The last one I was when Hugh Douglas dumped Jim Miller on his head. And we haven't had many playoff games since then. So
no. 2001 or 2000. Yeah, was that 2001? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really easy to avoid.
Yeah, you haven't had many opportunities to go to one.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I went and I got, not to go off topic, but I paid more for food, lunch for me and him, and a Cubs hat for him than I did for literally the tickets. And the tickets, like, I think I got them like $60 each, like right before the game started. And I ended up buying like chicken tenders and the soda and chips and all that was like $45.
Yep, you're in the hole. Yeah.
Jeez, and then he wants a hat and the ball, and I'm like, all right. And $120 later for that too. I'm like, geez, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is pretty nuts. I actually got invited. I got invited to every single game of the first round, and I was like, nah, because they don't win, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I passed.
Yeah.
I might end up at Wrigley though Wednesday or Thursday. More likely Thursday. They have to win these next 2 for me to drop any kind of coin on it.
It was a cool environment. I'll say like I was lucky enough. What game did I go to? I went to the 2015 NLDS clincher against the Cardinals, which was incredible.
That was insane.
Oh my God. Then I went to a World Series game. It was actually the game they lost the World Series at home, which was unfortunate. I used to have season tickets and I gave them up, but so I've been to a couple games and the vibe there is just, it's like how it was back in like 2016, 15, like in terms of the excitement around Wrigleyville is great, but
it was funny that first game, ESPN, because when Seau hit that home run, they actually had to mute the crowd because they couldn't hear themselves talking in the booth. It was so loud. I was like, dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, my buddy had our season tickets, so I split them with some friends. He had the game that Miguel Montero hit the grand slam against the Dodgers.
I was there for that.
Oh, he said, you probably can confirm, he said it was the loudest event he's ever been. Like, it was insane. Like, the bleachers were literally shaking. So
I'll tell you, the only game I was at better than that, I was there in 03 for Maddox Pryor, and that was the first time I ever understood the term you can cut it with a knife.
The energy
I mean, I didn't sit down for one play of the entire 9-inning ball game, and it was just the electricity from start to finish was. I've never felt anything like it. It was amazing. And I've been to Hawks championships. I mean, I was a season ticket holder for the Blackhawks for the whole run. I went to their their clincher against Tampa Bay, which was a lot of fun. But that playoff game for the Cubs is still probably one of my top 5. Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
No, just imagine if the Bears ever get to where we hope they get to.
We're going to get there, man.
I think Vegas was like 50% Bears fans.
Yeah.
We're going to get there.
Yeah,
we're going to get back to football.
Chicago
You're right.
fans are so dedicated, man, even to the losing teams.
You're right. And we're going to cut Mikey loose. Sorry, I'm reading Mikey's comment. We're going to cut Zach loose. And Mikey, we're going to cut you loose too if you keep booing the Cubs. And Zach, you're going to be in town. And we're running an event for the Bears home opener, or for the Bears Monday nighter, not home opener, at River Street Tavern at 102 North River Street in East Dundee. It is a family event. We just got an awesome Devin Hester autographed helmet that we're giving away. We got a Caleb Williams jersey we're giving away. We're connected with Bears Care Charities, so we're raising money, 50-50 raffle.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, raising money for people a little bit less fortunate than us. And hopefully we're going to watch the Chicago Bears beat the Washington Redskins. But hopefully, if you're free, bring your son. Come out.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
But everybody else, come out 102 North River Street, Bears, Redskins. And Zach, we really appreciate your time joining us as always. And hopefully we can check in with you as the season progresses down the road just a little bit.
Anytime, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was a fun time again. Let's do it later on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll reach out.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Later.
Oh, he ran about 46 minutes, so I wanted to cut him off.
Yeah, no, he's got something to do. He can do it. If he likes to hang out, he can hang it back. It's always fun to have him on. Today was cool, man, because last time we had the four of us were so prepped with the Q&A that ran late. Yeah, we were able to just kind of turn the questions into a conversation with them. And obviously, guys, this is an individual who knows a lot about the Bears, even if he's not working inside the organization, which he is. But even if he wasn't, he's a guy who knows the team. He studies the sport. It's always good to have a conversation with him. It's good to get those answers to the questions we think that most of you probably wanted to ask him yourselves. Okay, Williams. But thanks to Zach again. Hopefully we get him back on here, guys. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, man, that was cool. It was cool to converse versus just kind of Q&A.
Yeah, I really wanted to ask him about how to fix this run defense, but we didn't get to that portion. But I do believe in my heart of hearts, just getting back Grady Jarrett, getting back Austin Booker, getting back Kyler Gordon, getting back TJ Edwards. I think it still will be leaky. I don't think it will be as leaky as what?
You left this F the scrubs comment up there for
I don't think it will be as leaky as it was in the past in the past game, but sorry, Erica. My bad.
Erica says this, and it is worth mentioning.
Go ahead.
And I don't disagree because this is a completely different football team than the Bears last year. I don't disagree with Zach, but it is worth mentioning that we nearly beat them last year. Our coach is better. Obviously, our offensive line's a little better. Caleb's much better. I just want to say this. In regards to how much the Bears have improved, I think we still don't know. That's left to be answered. I think how they respond to the bye week is going to be important to how good they actually are. After this game, you might be able to start to say, this is this Bears or this is that Bears. But I will say this. Sean and Kyle were dead on about how this Washington team has looked, even in the wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Even in the wins. I mean, I think they ran the ball like 35 times to win the game against the Raiders, and the Raiders just couldn't defend a thing. But they look like they've regressed to me. I mean, they're missing McLaurin. They're missing McLaurin. They'll be missing McLaurin, I believe, for this football game. This is going to be a team that I think the Bears should be able to beat. But like I said, it's tough to say that, not knowing necessarily who the Bears are quite yet.
I will be dropping my preview later on this week, probably after the show on Wednesday. A little sneak peek. I am going to have the Bears winning this football game. I do believe, to Erica's points, this was a team they almost beat last year. They went toe-to-toe with. I don't think that they're better than they were last year. I think, as you just said, I think they've regressed. I think Ben Johnson's going to have this team prepared and dialed up. And I think Caleb Williams is going to be dialed up for his homecoming. And he's not going to want to lose in his home state twice. He's going to put this team on his back. I personally believe he's going to put this team on his back. And the Bears are going to ride him to victory in the nation's capital 1 week from tonight. That's just I'm going to look. I'm going to look a lot more into it. But
And Zach said something that I thought he was going to, like, he said he thinks after this game, the Bears go on a little bit of a win streak. I think if you're going to, a win streak would have to start with Washington. I think Washington is a winnable game. I think Washington's in a very similar place as the Bears. They're kind of learning who they are, even if they had the same coaches last year. Jaden struggled a little bit. They're missing pieces now. They're just trying to survive, the same as the Bears are, because the Bears, every game they lose is detrimental to how their season goes. And I think that you can beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow. They look like the team that can be beaten without Joe Burrow. And then you've got the Saints, guys, which, regardless of how good or bad the Bears are, the Saints can be beaten by anybody. They can win on any given Sunday, but they can be beaten by just about anybody in this league. I think if you're going to go on a win streak, it's going to be the Washington, New Orleans, Cincinnati stretch. And you're facing the Ravens, where no matter how bad that defense has been, if Lamar Jackson's on the field, it's going to be a tough game.
And Derrick Henry as well, because as leaky or as much as I think there's a nice jump pass by Pat Mahomes. They're moving down the field on the Jaguars early in this football game. 4 minutes in, I'm taking it the Jags went 3 and out. Mikey, that would be amazing if we can get a shootout at River Street and get everyone just pumped up and excited and be cheering this whole time. I'll tell you this, guys,
It's going to
too.
be a close game, I think. For sure.
I was there for the Cubs game, and I know you guys aren't Cub fans, but when that place was packed and that place and the Cubs got a big hit, that place rocked. So it's close quarters for those guys who haven't been there. It'll be tight. And when the Bears score a touchdown, I guarantee that room's going to be rocking. I guarantee it. I can barely hear myself think when the Cubs went back-to-back last week against the Padres. It was awesome. And Kyle said on Thursday it was even more packed. He's like, dude, he goes, I felt it through my body. And we want to pack it with Bears fans, because the Bears are going to win this football game. They're going to win this football game. I'm going to talk it into existence if I have to. But they're going to win this football game on Monday. This is going to be, like Dustin said in our group chat earlier today, Caleb needs a statement game like Drake May had a statement game last night. And coming out of this bye with 2 weeks to prepare, I'm going to go out and say it. I think this is a statement game. He's going to look as good as he did against the Dallas Cowboys a couple of weeks ago on the road this time, which I think would be a humongous step for Caleb Williams.
If he wins this game, regardless of how he does it, it's a statement game no matter what, because not only does that put the Bears at 3 wins in a row after opening the season with 2 losses, but this is the guy who everybody thinks should have been drafted to this football team over Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
If you come out here and you beat this, Caleb has now lost to every guy he's played from his draft class. So if you come out here and you beat this guy, and then you beat, Spencer Rattler, same draft class, a couple weeks down the road, Caleb can start making statements absolutely in regards to where he should be ranked and where he would go in a redraft with that class. If you're talking about that Caleb is the individual, this is a big statement for him, I think. If he comes out here, Sean, and does what you said he's going to, if he looks like he did against Dallas, against this team, this is a statement. And it's
100%.
And it's, now that Ben Johnson's my coach, you better watch the fuck out. That's the statement. So
I mean, I'm going to look up Washington stats, because I haven't sat down and dove into this game.
They ran the ball very efficiently over the
I
last.
just want to know what kind of sacks they have in 2025. How many are they getting to the quarterback?
I didn't see anything impressive in those numbers.
Yeah, I got to really get into this, but it doesn't look like they have a ton of sacks on the season. And if they leave that, we already saw what happens. If there's a clean pocket out there for Caleb Williams, he's going to pick you apart.
Well, I think Sean, I think regardless, this is going to be a close game. And I don't want to start doing the preview for the guys. Obviously, Wednesday, Thursday, we got our preview shows going, but it's going to be a close football game. And I think a lot of the games the Bears are in moving forward will be close football games, even against games like the teams like the Saints, man. I think the Bears are going to be in close football games for majority of the season. The difference is last year they had a coaching staff that could lose them a game with a 90% win rate in the fourth quarter. If you're in these close games with Ben Johnson at the helm, are the results different? You know, are you
No.
winning those? Are you winning those one score games? Is that the difference in possible playoff seed for this Bears team? Are they going to have another 8 games for the rest of the season that are going to be decided by one score? And if so, what's their record in those games? Is
Again,
that what dictates this Bears season?
it'll definitely be a challenge. They're averaging about 3 sacks a game, and they're averaging 6 yards a carry. So this is going to be
They run the ball very effectively.
156 yards on the ground a game and 7 rushing touchdowns. And they've had 6 explosive plays in the run game so far through 5 weeks. So that's like 1.2 per week.
And Jaden Daniels is not a turn it over kind of guy. So this is going to be a test for the Bears because
he has no interceptions.
You can take the ball away from Geno Smith. You know, you can take the ball away from Dak Prescott, even which they didn't. I don't know. Did they? I think it was a tipped ball. Yeah, tipped ball was picked off by Tremaine Edmonds. You're not going to just take the ball away from Jaden Daniels, man. He makes smart decisions with the football. That's why he was as successful as he was as a rookie. He didn't turn the ball over.
I think what he meant, guys, was the quarterbacks that he's played from this draft class. He didn't play Nix or Penix yet, guys.
No, he's played Drake May. He's played Jaden Daniels.
Lost.
He's played J.J. McCarthy.
Lost.
He has lost to every quarterback that he's played from his draft class. He will play Spencer Rattler in a few weeks from now as well. He's playing Jaden again. That's what I mean. As far as you can make the argument that Caleb shouldn't have been the Bears' pick over these other guys unless Caleb starts to just beat these other guys. Monday night.
And I think, and again, I still think, and I know Melon Smasher and Anthropology 2000 don't believe this whatsoever, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I do believe that. I think it's going to even out. And I think when this is all said and done, and I felt this way coming in, and guys, you guys go back, it's all on record. I love Drake May, and that's why I kind of was like Zach Pearson wrote that tweet this morning, and I was like, huh. Because I always thought Drake May was going to be a stud out of this class. I wasn't sure if he was going to be better than these two guys, but I definitely was 100% sold on him being a badass out of this draft class.
Well, in that tweet, he said, "Is it going from Caleb versus Daniels to Caleb versus May?" But a sentiment that I expressed earlier in one of our shows this season, Sean, is that I think it's going from Jaden versus Nix as the best quarterback in this class to Caleb versus May.
Yeah.
I think that Caleb and May are kind of getting separation in the race to being the best QB out of this class over Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix.
I mean, is it going to piss you off if it turns out that Drake May is Josh Allen or a better version of Josh Allen?
I don't care what anybody else is as long as Caleb's good, man. If Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, and I mean good, I don't mean like if he's Kyle Orton, if he's serviceable, if he can manage a game, if he's Alex Smith. I mean, if this guy's out there throwing touchdowns, running touchdowns, extending plays with his legs, keeping his eyes downfield, getting out of the pocket. I mean, if he's doing all the things that we know he can do well at a really high level, Sean, I don't care what May becomes. I don't care what Nix becomes. I don't care what Daniels becomes. I care what Caleb becomes. And who's to say, Sean, that if Caleb Williams becomes the best quarterback we've ever watched in a Bears jersey, who's to say any one of those other guys would have? Would Drake May have survived the first year that Caleb endured?
Did not be broken.
Yeah, I mean, that and not just physically, Sean, but mentally. You know, would Drake May? What? How would the other players respond this season after the rookie year Caleb Williams had?
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point because these guys. I mean, Drake May had to endure a new coach, but he didn't have to endure what Caleb Williams did. Bo Nix got put into a fantastic situation with a fantastic coach. Michael Penix, I don't
Got to
hate.
sit on the bench.
He had to sit on the bench.
got-
I don't hate Raheem
No, I
Morris.
mean he got to. Like, that's a dream for. I mean, it sucks not to be able to play, but the impact that has on players has never proven to be negative.
Yeah.
Penix got just as good a situation to me as Bo Nix. Penix got to
Think
sit,
so?
learn, and watch. He got to begin to understand the speed of the NFL without ever having to take a hit for it. And Penix looks to me like he's progressing well. I don't think the time he spent on the bench hurt his development at all. I think that he's becoming a better player every week. But yeah, I mean, you look at Jaden Daniels. He had Cliff Kingsbury, who is a guy who likes to run an offense around a quarterback. You're the star. You're the main event, and that benefited Jaden Daniels because he was a guy who could do it all. He could run. He could throw. Caleb Williams got drafted to a shit show that had no identity, no culture, no organization, no no institution, none whatsoever. There was nothing here for Caleb to benefit from. And I don't know how people would have responded to that, Sean, within like mentally within their levels of confidence. And I don't know how people would have responded to it. If Jaden Daniels is on a team and gets sacked 68 times, is he alive today? Do we already have a funeral for this guy?
That's a good question.
So this is a statement game, though, because to me, Caleb still is there's no ruling Caleb out as the best quarterback in this class, though, right? He's been one of the best passers in this class. If you're looking at the numbers under the blitz, you're looking at the numbers under pressure, you're looking at the numbers on the move, you're like, his numbers in situational football have been better than most quarterbacks in his class.
Yeah, and to Melon Smasher here, Ben called Washington a basketball team. Now, that goes back to the interview process when Ben Johnson said he felt that ownership were more basketball guys and weren't confident in their football opinions because they had basketball backgrounds, and he was turned off by that during the interview process. I don't know that that's calling them a basketball team. That was an opinion he shared about ownership. So I don't know, Melon Smasher, if they're putting that on the bulletin
Well, and I
board.
think not only were they former basketball guys, I think they both were more businessmen than there's two types of ownership, man. There's guys who are very keen to the sport itself. They know a lot about it. They can even input with their general managers who might be traded for. Then there's guys who just strictly run a business and they hire people to do their job and they let them do their job. This was the problem with the Bears for the last 100 years. They had ownership that wanted to be both. They wanted to make football decisions and also make the money, and they didn't know anything about football. And that's the Bears are finally starting to just let the guys they hire do their jobs, and that's where the success looks like it seems to be coming from. Is the culture shift that I think Kevin Warren instilled here. But yeah, Ben Johnson. Yeah, Melon Smasher, don't be doing that, man. Don't be stretching words like that. Don't be paraphrasing people like that. Ben Johnson called the Commanders a bunch of losers because he said they lost a game last week. Like you know what I mean? Can't be CNN here, man.
He's just like, and you can't. I agree with Erica. You can't compare college stats because that USC team that he was on his last year of college was horrific. It had zero NFL talent on it. The only guy who was taken was Rice's son in like the 7th round. No one else came off that roster.
Well, and I've debated this argument many times online. That argument doesn't hold up at all. Patrick Mahomes had some of the worst statistics. Patrick Mahomes lost to every ranked team he ever played against.
Yeah.
I don't know that his team ever even made a bowl game. I think maybe one. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was not a successful collegiate quarterback, and he's the best quarterback in the NFL besides Tom Brady in regards to winning. So I don't know how much sway that has. And then you watch guys from good programs fail all the time, Sean. How many times have we watched this? We've watched it here. I'm sorry, you might still like the player, but Justin Fields failed here, and he was from a really prominent school and had a really good season and won a college championship. And
you see it all the
it
time.
doesn't always mean that guy's a pro, man.
Yeah, Tim Couch, Jamarcus Russell, Rick Meyer. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean,
and you know what? A lot of people say this about JJ McCarthy. Have you heard this yet, Sean? This he's won no matter where he's won at every level, no matter where he goes. And I saw it posted online. His overall record in football was like 59-3 or something. Because this guy, no matter where he's gone, they've won championships. But it's like apply that recipe to the NFL.
you
Apply that
can't.
formula to the NFL, and let me know what the overall record is of those. Like, I just don't think it's. There's nothing that proves that equates.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You
That's
can't.
why I started to do so much homework into how many pass attempts a college quarterback has, because to me, that has shown more success early in an NFL player's career.
We had a system malfunction for some reason. We're not live on the Twitter stream. I didn't notice that until now. That kind of sucks.
I was wondering why our viewership was
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Man, these
floating
technical
around.
difficulties in this
Stream here.
this day and age. Oh boy, Josh Simmons. Oh, he's just sick. He have to see if he's out there. I can't tell. He's listed as questionable last minute due to sickness.
So it's still live here. Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
we're still clicking.
We still appreciate all you guys who are chatting with us. The people from Twitter typically don't anyway. So
Yeah.
Eric says Bears win 34-28 Monday night. She's got a bit of a shootout. Okay. Erica likes a
I would love
shootout.
to see it. I would love to see a shootout. I mean, I
You would say,
personally.
so this is what, Erica? Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams just trade strikes? Because the Bears aren't running the ball very effectively, and against Dan Quinn's defense, it's probably not going to start there. I don't know.
Yeah, they're averaging about, like I said, 3 sacks a game, so they are getting after the quarterback. I can't wait to actually really try.
Sean, they've been much improved against the run since they lost to
Yeah.
that Philly team with 7
Which is
touchdowns.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
They held Ashton Genty to nothing. I mean,
Yeah, and Hampton got hurt, but he wasn't running at a great clip either. Well, he had 44 on what, like 16 carries or something before he got hurt yesterday.
yeah,
So they've been doing a better job, and that's something that I could say would be something that impressed me, because I thought they would be one of the worst run defenses. He had 12 for 44 before he got hurt, 3.7 yards per carry. Herbert 4 for 60. He had that big one down the sideline late in that ball game, chugging in there like he was Josh Allen yesterday.
Yeah, that Washington Commanders defense is improved at defending the run, and Dan Quinn typically does that.
Yeah.
It's the first kind of thumbprint he leaves on a defense, but that's going to cause problems for the Bears too. So
yeah, and I think that's something we're going to see. And I know it looks bad right now, and DJ Prophet was kind of pointing that out a little bit ago, but it is a slow burn, man, and it is going to be a slow burn for the Bears to get back. He's got to get some pieces on here that fit his scheme, and I don't think they're here yet, but I still have confidence that Dennis Allen is going to get this defense in order. I do.
I thought you meant Ben, because like no matter whether or not you have the pieces,
he doesn't have his pieces either
to run the ball. Whether or not he does, I still don't like his approach. His approach
I don't either.
has been it's leaving a lot to be desired to me. It's just Swift after Swift after Swift,
and again after what Zach said tonight, like Roshan was kept here to be the short yardage back, but you can't get him on the field. And Monangai hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked awful, but why aren't you rotating guys and at least giving him a chance to see if he can produce? It's just, these are the guys you chose to keep.
Yeah. All 4 of us in the offseason approached this saying this committee might be okay.
Right.
They might be good enough. If you had told me it's just DeAndre Swift, I'd have told you the Bears are in deep shit, dude, because that doesn't work.
If it's not working, why don't you bring Britton Brown up from the practice squad? You just see Michael Carter. Michael Carter looked great off the practice squad for Arizona this week. He's a little guy, though, man. That guy's really small.
There's answers out there, man, and I wonder if Ben Johnson just doesn't think that the answers are here already, and he slow rolls these rookies. So maybe he thinks Monangai's the guy. He just wants to give him an ease into it approach. But you need an answer now, man. You need an answer.
They need to start running the ball pretty quickly, and that's the one thing I was telling Kyle. We were watching the game, and he was like, "Oh, it's play action." I looked at Kyle. I'm like, "Does he know you have to effectively run the ball for play?"
Yeah,
like,
and,
what
and I
is
want and I
happening
want
here?
and so the Bears fans know it's clear too. If Roshan Johnson does start to play a role in this football team, he's not going to be doing any short yardage running. This team
No.
has the longest average third down in the NFL on offense. I mean, they need somebody who can get the ball into short yardage, and Swift
Yeah.
is not doing that. So, like, if Roshan needs to be tried early and on downs, then we need to do. You're not getting to 3rd and 1. You're not getting to 3rd and 2, and when you do have those, you're not typically converting them. So, like,
And that's why
something
Roshan
has
should
to
be
give.
on this
Yeah,
team, man, or be at least getting that
something's
crack.
got to give. You got to give these two guys on your team a shot because it's not working the way it's going. And I also believe, because I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm tearing down Swift, I also believe that DeAndre Swift gets better if somebody else has an impact on
Yes,
your football team.
I agree.
I thought DeAndre Swift was more effective last year, and Roshan Johnson was getting the short down yardage last year. So, I mean, DeAndre Swift could benefit from fewer snaps, and somebody might be able to get you the short down yard, guys. That's something we're hoping. Like I said, Ben Johnson, personnel, bye week, figure out your personnel, figure out who should be running the ball alongside DeAndre Swift and when, figure out how many carries that guy should have per game and aim for that mark. Figure this shit out now.
And I can't wait because that is a humongous stadium. I think it holds like 80,000 people. It's going to be a big time Monday night showdown, and we're going to give you a big time previews leading into this Monday night showdown this Wednesday on the Barely There podcast. We're going to break it down. And then Thursday, Burn the Midnight Oil with Dustin and Brandon. They're going to give their preview and their thoughts on this Bears Washington rivalry that's going to be cooked up over the next bunch of years between Daniels and Caleb Williams. And then hopefully the Cubs are on the air, because if they are, I will be live from Wisconsin in the heart of Brewers country to broadcast the North Side 9 live and get a feel from the other side. And then I got to deal with these jagoffs the entire
Well,
ball.
you can only watch it if you have cable.
You can only watch it if you have cable. Yes, don't forget about the North Side 9, because I'm going to put myself through hell to get on the other side. Maybe I'll have a couple Brewers idiots on the show to get their feel. I won't feel really good if it's Freddie Peralta in Game 5, though. I can tell you that, if there is a Game 5. But yes, I agree with you, Eric, because Swift's vision is not good. But Swift is a guy, and
He's
Kyle,
not.
I
He's
wish he
not.
was on tonight, because every time he hands the ball off to him and he runs up the middle, I yell at the television at the top of my lungs, because I am so – get this guy, halfback toss, halfback pitch, an end around, get him into space.
Yeah.
He can be effective.
And it's
the
not even
only
so much
way.
about his vision for me. It's about his patience.
Yeah.
He is the kind of player that when he receives the ball, he just shoots. He shoots. So this offensive line right now, Sean, by
It's
all
not effective either.
by PFF standards, it's being graded as one of the best run blocking offensive lines in football. But you're giving the ball to a back who does not wait for these things to evolve. You need to let the hole develop. You need to let these guys create the gaps. Swift just gets the ball and runs. And I think you just need a guy who's a little Monangai or Roshan, and Roshan has proven to show this a little bit. If you get a guy in the field who's just a little more patient, you might get some big runs, because I'm going to say this. I love DeAndre Swift. He's capable of really big plays. He's incredible in the receiving game from the halfback position. But I have seen him run into walls when gaps are
Numerous
opening
times,
up,
yeah.
where gaps are opening up elsewhere. He doesn't wait to see it. He's not patient. He wants to go as soon as he's got the ball. I think there are players on this roster like Roshan and Monangai who, because they don't have as much burst getting the ball as DeAndre Swift does, they tend to let things evolve a little, the play evolve a little more before they actually hit their gaps. And I think Ben's got to be able to see that, man. I mean, I'm not an NFL head coach. It seems pretty obvious to me. It's hard for this offensive line to stay ahead of DeAndre Swift. It's looking like a very glaring problem to me.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is just one step ahead of this line, man, and it's not playing dividends.
It's definitely a big hole on this team that they have to address. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've come to the end of the line today, because we have a big baseball game in about 25 minutes. and I gotta go get a quick shower and make some popcorn for this one because Shota is gonna be on tonight. I have a feeling, Erica.
Should have said show out. That would have worked. So if
It's
you had
gonna
said
be
Shota's
showtime.
gonna
Yeah, I
show
lost my
out.
train of thought there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be showtime in Milwaukee tonight. TD Chiefs. Yeah, Zach Kelsey just did catch a touchdown. It is 6-0. And
Jeez, Zach Kelsey, you're all over the place with your names tonight.
Zach,
Sean.
did I say
you
Zach
usually-
Kelsey?
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey,
Right.
Zach Kelsey. You know
Who
those
cares?
guys.
I'm with you on that. Who cares?
The Chiefs are up 7-0. And I need one more, Brandon. I need a half a point in your league out of Brian Thomas Jr. to be 9-0 in the last 3 weeks in fantasy football in my 3 leagues. Yeah, I'm living the dream right now.
You need a half a point.
Yeah, it's
Well, unless he's injured, I think he'll be okay.
I hope so. Brian Thomas, he's got to just catch one ball. The score is 159.84 to 159.
I drafted Travis Hunter on my fantasy team, and I don't know that I've ever regretted anything more. I thought this guy was going to be like used or utilized in some way, shape, or form, dude.
He was just dropped in my big money league last week.
Brian Thomas got a catch tonight.
He needs one more. He needs one more. He needs one more.
I
I'm down.
I think he'll be okay considering he's the only weapon on that football team.
I was going to say I'm down 0.80. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I got Brashard Smith that I've been sitting on since the draft. Drafted him. He has 1 catch for 15 yards and a rush for 4. I think this guy's
just got tackled at the goal line, bro.
I think he's about to start making some noise. This guy for sure.
He literally they just threw him a pitch and he got tackled at like the 1 or 2.
So who got the Kelsey got the 2.
Kelsey got the touchdown. I picked up Brashard Smith too in one of my leagues this weekend. Someone dropped him and I immediately grabbed him. So
yeah, it said in his little stupid bio that they're about to give him the opportunity to be the featured back out of the committee. So
he looks really good, man. So
yeah, maybe the Bears could learn here. Like when something's not working, guys, it's time for change. We saw it with the left tackle. You know, Benedette's out there. The running back position shouldn't be any different. I'm not saying Swift can be replaced. I'm saying he can be relieved.
That's the other brother, Mikey. You just don't know about him yet. You will, I promise. Ladies and gentlemen,
ball boy.
I'm hitting the high road. Don't forget, Wednesday, Barely There. We'll be back at 7 o'clock. Breakdown, full in-depth on the Washington Bears Monday night and as we said, Burn the Midnight Oil with Brandon and Dustin. And if you can't listen to them on the way to work on Friday because they're always doing something silly and crazy on the show, and it's always worth the listen.
That's true. We do that.
And then we'll see what Saturday brings for the Northside 9. I'm praying to God. I'm sticking myself in the heart of all these Brewers assholes, and I get to come out. I'm going to wear the brightest blue Cubs shit I have in front of all these dicks, and hopefully we come out and we are the winners. And my buddy that's going with me, he goes, dude, what happens if we lose? I looked at him and I said, hey, bro, you ever play with fire? Sometimes you get burned. I gotta know what to say, man.
Yeah. I went to Lambeau Field and watched the Bears lose a football game. I still had my stuff to say.
Yeah,
it's not about who wins or loses. We don't like each other before the game starts.
Yeah. Hey, what we'll always have for Milwaukee? Make it to win a World Series because it may take us 100 years, but at least we got one.
Melon Smasher, Mikey, Erica, Bruce. I think I saw Vizzo Joe in here earlier. Melon Smasher, Anthropology, DJ Prophet, Dante Purify was in here. My man, Swaggy McNolegs, Daniel Jeffries. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will definitely see you on Wednesday for the Billy There podcast. Sean, is there anything else you want to say before we get out?
Oh yeah, there is.
Good better bet! Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're gonna get better! You're gonna get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3! Bears!
That's right, guys. And you make your better best as well. We will see you on the next one. Bear down.
Bear down, everybody.